Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my seller webinar. Today, we are again discussing about the four different ways for you to sell your property on the market. In contradictory with a lot of people thinking there's only one way, or maybe all two ways, is selling their house on the market right now. There's actually four different strategy, and why therefore depend on the amount of profits that you like, depend on how fast that you want to sell the house. There are there are strategy that you need to follow to achieve the goal, because for some people profit is highest, right? In that situation is completely different with selling fast. Okay, how can they sell fast in the current market? Okay, so I'm going to explain to you all four different ways, and I also going to tell you how to determine which one is best fit your situation. All right, let's dive right into the webinar today. Here is the four different strategy. Number one, proactive or active marketing. Number two, buy before you sell. Number three, creative financing, and number four is selling to investor. All right, those are the four strategy that at the high level, based on the name, somewhat you already get an idea of what it is. But if you don't, wait, and we are going to go through each individual strategy right now. Okay, number one, active marketing. What is this one? Okay, this one is basically you will be, as a homeowner, you will be hiring a real estate agent who is familiar with marketing to help market your property on the market. Because some of you might think the real estate agent only gonna help you with the paperwork. Well, that is only a portion of the work that the real estate provide to you, right? As a real estate professional, excuse me, they do have to have some skills, some experience in marketing. They have to help you with preparing the property, suggesting some prepare that is popular in the buyer's mind right now, and helping you make the property ready to sell condition. That is the job of the marketing. And remember, keep in mind that I have the word, okay? Active marketing. That means some of not every real estate agent gonna be the same, because some of the agents just take the house and basically do nothing. All right, they even use the phone to take the pictures of the property, and then hopefully that the house is sell, right? So you have to make sure you ask the question to see whether that real estate agent can do the marketing that you need for your property. Okay, some of the question may be like, okay, do you work full time as a real estate agent, right? If they work part time, how are they gonna follow up? How are they gonna continue market your property on the market? Okay, because they don't have time and experience and follow, so that they can follow the market, right? So that is a very important question that they have. And if they work part time, right, then how do they gonna cover? Who gonna cover the remaining time that they are not in the real estate business? Okay, the next question you can also ask is how many potential buyers and sellers do they talk with on a monthly basis? If the answer is only one or two, then how are they going to be able to find out what is the trending right now? What kind of needs that the buyer needs right now? For example, before COVID, no one think of a house with a den, right? But because of the remote working situation, the den and office become very popular now, right? So that is some kind of trending that they need for, and also what kind of color in the cabinet or in the painting that is become more and more popular nowadays, right? The more they work with buyers and seller, the better understanding that about the market that they will have. Okay, so that is an important question to ask. The next question is that in what ways will you encourage realtor to show or sell my house? That, in other words, how do they sell? How do they market your property in the market right now? What kind of marketing strategy that they have, right? And then do they understand the market or not? Because depend on the situation, depend on the market, a different method to pricing the house more appropriately and more getting you to understand. As a real estate agent, they have to understand the market. Is it a going up market or is it going down market? Is it a seller market or is it a buyer market, right? To be able to help you navigate through the process. If they don't know those answers, then you can tell whether he or maybe the knowledge, the information that he or she has the same as you. So why would you as a homeowner hire him or her as your agent, right? What is the price and how is that determined? Is that a guessing number or based on a specific system? Those are the very important question that you need to know to understand how they come out, how they work, and whether they are a good fit to market your property. If you do have, if you are interested in a list of other questions that I have, please text the word agent questions to 480-480-7948 so that I will send you the full list. If you also have other questions that you want to share with the audience here, feel free to put in the comments below as well. With that, that is the very basic high level of the proactive marketing. Okay, different agents are going to use different strategy. Some use virtual tour, some use text code like the one agent questions that I have right here. Some use QR code, some use open house, some use social media. Everything is important so that you have to know everything. Those are very important things that you need to know to find out whether the agent is a good fit for you or not. Okay. The next strategy is to buy before you sell. Just like the name suggested, that means you are you are going to go buy a house first before you sell. Okay. Just like the name, I go buy a house first. The reason why I recommend this one is for some people, buying a house is a big decision, and selling a house is also a big decision. And two big decisions combined doesn't equal two. It's actually three, four, five. Depend on the situation, right? And that creating a very complicated process and make sure that you have to coordinate very well. We could do them at the same time. I don't recommend that because here's the thing: if you have to do both at the same time, you're basically rushing into the process, and you may end up choosing the house that you don't like, or you may sell the house at the price that you don't really want it. Right? Instead, buy before you sell. Take you slow down the process. Right? You do one house at a time, but at least you're gonna have a lot of time, a lot of a lot of time to look at houses and be able a lot of preparation to sell your house. But sometimes it doesn't work. So what may not work, right? Because most of the people buying a house use mortgage, right? That creating a challenging situation because sometimes with the income that the buyer has, the buyer or the seller has, right? They cannot qualify for both mortgages at the same time. Remember, when you buy first, that means you take on the second mortgage along with the first mortgage, and then you're gonna get rid of the first mortgage later, right? Sometimes a lot of people cannot qualify for both mortgages at the same time. Therefore, this strategy doesn't work if there is not a creative action. So what are the solutions, right? There's some company called Homeward or Easy Knock. Those are the company that if you of course still apply just like regular home lending options, okay? But when you qualify for the program, you can actually even if it is the regular lending option, you cannot qualify for both mortgages at the same time. They still approve you for that. Okay. How do they do it? They actually, when you can go buy a house, you can go choose a house that you like. And um, when you pick a house that you like, you can tell them, hey, I like this one. They're going to use their cash to buy that house. Of course, the house is still going to be under their name. Okay, but because of the contract that you sign with them, they allow you to move into that house and pay them a daily rent. Okay, a daily rent. And then as you move into it, then you can clean out the first house and get the first house ready and sell the first house to the market. And when you have the money in the first house, then you can then use that money to buy the second house from Homework or Easy Enough. Okay, so that is the high level of the program. What is the catch? There's a fee associated with using the program. That could be different depending on the company. I used to say the number, but again, it's become now so wild that it may not be accurate anymore. So at the moment, always remember there is a fee associated with the program. The good news is this: sometimes they will be able to waive the fee if you use the lender um, of the company when you buy the second house after you sell the first house. Okay, or they may reduce a portion of the fee as well. So if you are interested in this and you think that you are relocating to a different location, this may be a good fit for you, and we can discuss more and we can talk more about the cost associated with the program as well. Also, remember, beside paying the fee, you also have to pay the daily rent. That means you still have to pay the mortgage of the first house and the rent of the second house. Okay, so that's still the two extra payments that you have to pay, even if you go with those programs. Okay, so if you are curious to see whether you qualify or not for this program, or whether it is a good fit for you, feel free to contact me and I will be more than happy to share more detail on that. The next option, the next strategy is creative financing option. Okay, in this situation, there's actually two situations that creative financing situation makes sense. Number one is when the seller still have mortgage. Okay, you as a buyer, you as a seller offering that the new buyer can take over the current mortgage that they have, and the buyer will pay you the difference compared to the purchase price. Or number two, when the home on free and clear, then the seller, you can offer the interest rate that you want to charge them. Okay, the question becomes why. Okay, for some situation, like they want to make more profit. For example, a house is at 500, so instead of only getting 500 in their pocket, right, they may charge you an interest rate, and that interest rate is normally lower than the market rate, because if it is equal to market rate, then why would the buyer do so, right? So for example, as of the time that I make this video, the interest rate is about 6.8, and the owner can offer you 5% interest rate, which is already good compared to other rate on the market, right? So instead of getting the lump sum of 500, they may only get like maybe 100 or $50,000 upfront, and then they receive the monthly payment from the remaining. Okay, that eventually, if after a certain amount of time, the 500 is actually the buyer actually have to pay maybe 550 or 600 or even higher, depending on how long the buyer keep the loan, right? So that's the reason why that the seller want to do that. Okay. Or some situation, this distressed owner, they bought the house, but they not be able to sell it, but they don't have equity to sell it as well at the time, and therefore they're offering the new buyer is gonna take over the current mortgage and cover and they don't have to be in the foreclosure situation. Those are the typical reason why the homeowner is willing to accept the monthly payment rather than a lump sum at the end. The question becomes, is it illegal? Right? Is it illegal for doing that? And it is absolutely legal to do so. In fact, the I'm sorry, and it is illegal. Okay, in fact, the Arizona Association of Realtors actually have an addendum specifically for seller financing. Okay, so that proves that if it is not legal, there wouldn't be any form available for realtor like me to fill that, right? The second question that some of the people might have is I still have the mortgage. Can I do this? And the answer is yes. It's just simply the new buyer gonna take over the current mortgage. All right, is gonna take over the current mortgage, and they're gonna pay you the difference compared to the purchase price. Next question that I have, a lot of people ask, why haven't I heard about this strategy? Because the mortgage interest rate has been so low for a long time, right? And it just become more and more popular nowadays because because the interest rate getting higher a lot. Okay, it's actually, this strategy is no like is very popular in the commercial real estate world, right? So it's have you heard about it because the interest rate of the residential property is so low, but now because it's get higher, it become more and more popular nowadays. All right. The next strategy, I have two sub strategy for A and for B. For A is basically selling to the iBuyer. Okay, iBuyer is big company, investment company like Open Door, Redfin, or OfferPad. Zillow used to have it too, or any other local iBuyer company as well. Basically, they are investor. They do have cash in reserve, invested by investor, and they use those cash to buy property at a good discount price, and then sell it back to the market. Okay, what is the cost? Always there's gonna be an extra fee. Why would you do that if there's an extra fee? Because it's fast. Okay, this is the best strategy for those of you who are looking for fast cash and easy and quick closing. Because normally for a cash buyer or for investor buyers, they can close as soon as 5 days to 14 days, depending on whether you are in an HOA community or not. Okay. Do I need an agent if I go with an investor or with an iBuyer? Do I need an agent? The answer is yes, but it has to be an agent that has experience with iBuyer company, right? The main reason is that as I told you, there are multiple iBuyer company on the market, and every one of them has a different way to do the business. Every one of them has a different method to evaluate your property, and every one of them has a different process to um, to to buy your house, right? So the agent has to be familiar with the process and to be able to help you navigate through that and answer any question that you may have about the process. Okay, all the eyeballs company offer creative equals? The answer is no. Like I said, evaluation process is different. Model, the model that they do to evaluate, it could be manually, it could be automatically. They're all different. Okay, so therefore, I would recommend that if you're thinking about do iBuyer, at least check out all the prices that all the iBuyers offer, rather than just go with one or two. Okay, there are some international companies like Open Door offer pad, but there are also smaller local iBuyer as well that you should be familiar with and run the code from that company as well. Last but not least, strategy is wholesaler. Okay, it's very similar for to the iBuyer. They want to look for a good discount price, and then with a quick turnover, they make the profit on the difference, right? This one is typically gonna be like 70 to 85% of the market value, right? So obviously you see as a homeowner, you lose a lot of profit if you go this route. The main reason is the fast. Okay, I told you already. I buy a wholesaler. I call it for B is mainly because sometimes the wholesaler tend to get lower price, even lower than the iBuyer, and they are local small investor, real estate investor. Okay, so that's the difference, but the idea is the same: low profit at upfront in exchange for the faster selling time and easier process. Okay, so what scenario is the most effective for all four strategy? And I'm putting together the four strategy using the The y-axis is the net proceed, and the x-axis is the stress level. The faster you want to sell the property, um, you want to lean in toward the cash investor or creative financing. But of course, your proceed level is much less than the traditional method of buy before you sell. Okay. So those are the very, very high level of the four different strategy. If you are still not sure about how to select the right one and what is the difference between creative financing versus cash investor and what is the traditional proactive marketing method, text seller options to 480-480-7948, and I will be more than happy to share with you all the information again and help you determine the best strategy. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching today's episode, and I'm looking forward to answer any question that you may have as well as you in the next webinar. Thank you. Bye bye.